Chapter 17. Yeah. What happened inside when the giant fish rolled down from the garden to the sea? And insects were happy because they get off got off from the peach tree, and it slowed. And besides, the giant peach killed two ants, Sponge and Spiker. So they were happy too. But when the giant fish rolled down steep slope and it got faster and faster, can you imagine what's happening inside? The insect rolled down and then crashed and scared and dangling and yeah, something like that. Maybe normally like car accident, all the insects and James were killed with hitting, biting, and it's huge impact. But this is a story, not a normal happen. We have got imaginative. Even the boy can fly like in Harry Potter. Anyway, so they lost. They landed, and they imagined where they were. So, and they decided to go out, and then they went out through the tunnel where the James had come in. 18. A minute later, they were out in the open, standing on the very top of the pitch, near the stream, blinking their eyes in the strong sunlight and feeling nervous around. What happened? Where are we? But this is impossible, unbelievable, terrible. I told you we were bobbing up and down, the ladybug said. We're in the middle of the sea, cried James. And indeed they were. Strong current and a high wind had carried the fish so quickly away from the shore that the land was out of sight. All around them lay the vast black ocean, deep and hungry. Little waves were beating against the sides of the fish. Now how did it happen? They cried. Where are the fields? Where are the woods? Where is England? Nobody, not even James, could understand how in the world a thing like this could have come about. Ladies and gentlemen, the old green grasshopper said, trying very hard to keep the fear and disappointment out of his voice. I'm afraid that we find ourselves in a rather awkward situation. Awkward? Cried the earthworm. My dear old grasshopper, we are finished. Every one of us is about to perish. I may be blind, but that much I can see quite clearly. Off with my boots, shouted the centipede. I cannot swim with my boots on. I can't swim at all, cried the ladybug. Nor can I, wailed the glowworm. Nor I, said Miss Spider. None of us three girls can swim a single stroke. But you won't have to swim, said James calmly. We are floating beautifully, and sooner or later a ship is bound to come along and then pick us up. They all stared at him in amazement. Are you quite sure that we are not sinking? The ladybug asked. Of course, I'm sure, answered James. Go and look for yourselves. And they all ran over the side of the future and peered down at the water below. The boy is quite right, the old green grasshopper said. We are floating beautifully. Now we must all sit down and keep perfectly calm. Everything will be all right in the end. What absolute nonsense, cried the earthworms. Nothing is ever all right in the end, then. Well, you know it. Poor earthworms. The ladybug said, whispering in James's ear. He loves to make everything into a disaster. He hates it to be happy. He's only happy when he's gloomy. Now, isn't that all? But then, I suppose just being an earthworm is enough to make a person pretty gloomy. Don't you agree? If this Peachy is not going to sing, earthworms was singing, and if we are not going to be drowned, then every one of us is going to starve to death instead. Do you realize that we haven't had a thing to eat since yesterday morning? By golly, he's right, cried the centipede. For once, the earthworm is right. Of course, I'm right, the earthworm said, and we are not likely to find anything around here either. We shall get thinner and thirstier, and we shall all die a slow and grisly death from starvation. I'm dying already. I am swallowing shrivelings often for want of food. Personally, I would rather drown. But good heavens, you must be Brian, said Jane. You know very well I'm Brian, snapped the earthworm. There's no need to rub it in. I didn't mean that, said James quickly. I'm sorry, but can't you see that? See, shouted the four earthworms. How can I see if I'm blind? James took a deep, slow breath. Can't you realize, he said patiently, that we have enough food here to last us for weeks and weeks? Where? They said. Where? Why, the pitch, of course. Our whole ship is made of food. Jumping Yehoshaphat. They cried. We never thought of that. My dear James, said the old green grasshopper, laying a front leg affectionately on James' shoulder. I don't know what we'd do without you. You are so clever, ladies and gentlemen. We are saved again. We mostly certainly not, said the earthworm. You must be crazy. You can't eat this ship. And it's the only thing that is keeping us up. We shall starve if we don't, said the centipede. And we shall drown if we do, cried the earthworm. Oh dear, said the old green grasshopper. Now we're worse off than before. Couldn't we just eat a little bit of it? Asked Miss Spider. I'm so dreadfully hungry. You can eat all you want, James answered. It would take us weeks and weeks to make any sort of a dent in this enormous pitch. Surely you can see that. Good heaven, he's all again, cried the old green grasshopper, clapping his hand. It would take weeks, and of course it would, but let's not go making a lot of holes all over the deck. I think we'd better simply scoop it out, and of the tunnel stove there's the one that we've just come up by. An excellent idea, said Lego. What are you looking so worried about, earthworms? The centipede asked. What's the problem? Problem is the earthworm said. The problem is the earthworm problem is that there is no problem. Everyone burst out laughing and cheer up, and earthworms they decided to come and eat, and they went and over to the tunnel's entrance and began scooping out great chunks of juicy golden-colored fish flesh. Marvelous, said the centipede, stuffing it into his mouth. Delicious, said the old green grasshopper. Just fabulous, said the glowworm. Oh my, said the lady primly. What a heavenly taste! She looked up at James, and then she smiled, and James smiled back at her. They sat down on the bed deck together, both of them chewing away happily. You know, James, the ladybug said, up until this moment, I've never in my life tasted anything except those tiny little green flies that live on those bushes. And they have the perfectly delightful flavor, but this speech is even better. Isn't it glorious? Miss Spider said, coming over to join them. Personally, I had always thought that big of juice coated in wet and blue bottles was the finest dinners in the world until I tasted this. What a flavor! The sensitive cry is terrific. There's nothing like it. There never has been. And I sure still knows, because I personally have tasted all the finest food in the world. Where often the centipede with his mouth full of fish and with the juice running down all of his chins suddenly burst in song. I had many strenuous difficulties in my time.